Coach's Corner is your source. Baseball, football, soccer, and hoops. The Coach's Corner has the scoop. It's the Coach's Corner with Andy.
Covering Tri-State sports, it's the Coach's Corner with Andy on 92.1 The GOAT.
It's the Coach's Corner.
Hey, I'm Andy with the Coach's Corner. We are here with Jonathan Wesson today. He's the Williamsport Wildcats boys varsity basketball coach. How are you doing today, Jonathan?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing good. Basketball season is about to start here, get underway. You guys have some tryouts coming up here soon. When do those begin?
November 15th and 16th, so it's approaching pretty quick. I know myself and my staff are super excited to get into tryouts, get into the season.
So I noticed one thing about you, Jonathan. You have a little bit of an accent. And It's not the accent most people see around here in the tri-state area. It's a little more southern. Where at in Mississippi are you from?
So I'm around Tupelo, the top northeast corner there. Tupelo would be the biggest town that everybody kind of knows because it's home from Elvis Presley.
Yep. So you did a little bit of got your coaching start as a JV head coach in Nettleton from 2017 to 2019. And then you did a little bit of coaching in West Virginia, Spring Mills Middle School, right?
Yes, correct. So we were in Mississippi teaching and coaching right before we moved up here. And then we got into it over at the middle school over at Spring Mills and ran that program for a few years before transitioning over here to Washington County.
So what brought you from Mississippi into the tri-state area?
So my wife, honestly. So I met her down there at Mississippi State University. She was in the vet program, and she had offers to go anywhere and decided to come back home. And so her hometown is Catoctin, which is right over the mountain in Frederick County. So we reside in Hagerstown, and so that was the main reason coming back for her family.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm from this area as well, so I'm very familiar with Catoctin. Nice little town, nice little area. Just went to Color Fest there not long ago.
Oh, dude, it was awesome, wasn't it?
We go every year. We like to take the kids. We got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and they absolutely love it. Now, I enjoy going, but when I'm there for 5 minutes and the crowds are – do you guys go on Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday. We go Saturday morning bright and early. Try and beat the people there.
Oh, man. We do every year, but it never fails. We usually are late, you probably understand. Do you guys have kids as well?
We do not, but we try and take the whole family down there, and you know how it is getting multiple people ready. Oh, yeah.
And then you get in there and you're like, all right, I'm ready. This is going to be cool. And then you get there and you're like, man, I'm ready to leave. These people are walking on my feet.
Too many people.
Yeah, but it is fun. So tell us a little bit about your goals coming up for this season. What are you planning on achieving here with the Wildcats in the 2024-2025 season? You guys went 12-11 last year, right? Under your first year?
Yep, correct.
So what do you guys got coming up? What are your plans for this season? Obviously, winning championships and getting wins in general. But I know athlete and student development are a big part of your teaching as coaching as well.
Right.
What do you do? What do you do to implement that philosophy on your team?
Yeah. So again, the big thing is basketball, but I want to kind of come in and teach the boys life stuff, trying to hold them accountable, making sure that they are keeping up with grades. We're already checking grades like nobody's business, and they'll come up and show it to us, say, hey, coach, I'm good. So that's stuff that we don't really have to worry about. I'm really big on accountability, holding them accountable to things in practice. Little things like practice jersey, you having the right stuff on, running the drills the right way. So things that translate outside of the game of basketball. I think that I got that from kind of my coaches growing up and my dad, who's a coach. It kind of just translated and trickled down to me. And also like coaches that I've had the opportunity to coach with. So I'm taking bits and pieces of kind of what I saw them do well, and I'm kind of just forming my own thing there. Looking forward to the school year, honestly, like you said it best, we're trying to win games, but at the expense of I'm not trying to sell all, be all to win a game. We're going to do it the right way. Getting into practice, working hard, competing every day. And, I think if we make practice hard and competitive, then the games are going to be easy. I've always kind of believed that. And so, just looking forward to I like the grind, man. The grind of everyday practice, in the weight room, in the gym, the hour and a half, 2 hour practices is where you're really getting down to the nitty gritty stuff. And that allows me to coach them and teach them, so I kind of like that stoppage of play. Hey, here's what you're doing, and let's run it again. Instead of the games, I hate coaching in games. Like they just not my thing. But no, I love the grind and I love the coaching side of it. It just the games are a showing off what we have been doing, and so I would rather do the practice side of it. That's the teacher coming out of me, I guess. But no, winning games, definitely. I want that region title. Definitely, that's up there. We always want to be kind of the best in Washington County. I know North and South and Williamsport are big rivals. And last year, Smithsburg was very good. Boonesboro this year is going to be much better. So I think the county is going to be much better and more even, I guess. So there's going to be some good inter-county battles there. But
that's awesome. I love that philosophy. Oh, sorry, I mean,
no, you
go ahead. I love that.
I'm done.
You're good. You're good. I understand. You get started up on it, and you want to keep on. I totally get it. It shows your passion for coaching. It's wonderful to see. But I love your philosophy of you like the grind with the practices because that's where those bonds for teammates are formed, and that's where a bond with you and your teammates are formed as well. When you're, I don't know exactly how one of your practices goes down or what you guys do in a normal practice, but I remember when I played basketball, conditioning was a huge factor. I'm sure it still is, but we would run sprints, we would run laps around the court, and multiple drills were just run.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're getting down like that and your physical peak is low, you turn to those other people and they lift you up and they help you along.
Lean on them.
Yep, exactly. And then that comes, like you said, that shows in a game.
Yep.
And it's really cool to see. And I love the aspect you have and your vision of what you want to do there. And another question I wanted to ask you about your team is how many players do you have coming back this year? How many seniors do you have on the team?
So coming back as of right now, of course, we haven't had tryouts. Anybody can show up. But from the summer, I think we're returning 3 seniors. So we're still relatively young. We lost 6 seniors last year. We had a big senior class. So we lost 6 last year. This year we're losing 3 that I know of. And then the majority of them on the team is going to be juniors and sophomores. So we're relatively young. Going to have some talent, but again, job as a coach is to develop as we go through. So not just relying on where they're at right now, but where could they get, by the time they're ending their junior year or junior summer leading into their senior season.
Right. So when you go through a tryout for basketball, do the players that played last year need to try out as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm not once you're in the program, you stay in the program type of coach. I believe that you still have to show up. You still have to go 100%. So I expect some guys to come out and kind of think that they've made it when I haven't seen them all summer. They have not picked up a basketball, and it's the thing that you get past, in today's game where you can play AAU all year. If you don't pick up a basketball, you're going to lose some of those skills. And so everybody's got to participate. And what I do, I know every coach is different. So we're running 2 days worth of tryouts this year. First one is going to be really fundamentally and skill based. We'll do a lot of station stuff. We won't really get into a whole lot of inter-squad stuff until the second day. Second day is where we get all of our playing. We'll start it at one-on-ones, and then we'll trickle up and do some 4-on-4s, maybe some 5-on-5s, just to kind of see how guys bond together, how they communicate, and how well they work together. And then take what they do during the inter-squad or the scrimmage, pair that with the fundamentals and kind of where they need to go, and then we pretty much choose the ones that are deserving of the program, and then we take it and we run with it.
Awesome. So who are your 3 seniors that plan to come back and try out to make the team again this year?
So far we've got Deontay Wilmore. He was a really good kid in the county. I think he topped the scoring in the county last year. We got a post player, Antoine Brown, coming back. And then Jalen Coleman's another good guard we got coming back as of right now.
Awesome.
But those three, show some leadership. We had them last year. They know how I operate. So I'm looking forward to them coming back and kind of setting the tone.
Yeah, I recognize Ciante's name from football. Talked with Tim a few times, and I hear his name come up quite often. So it sounds like he's a very good multi-sport athlete.
Yes, he is. Very good kid too.
That's awesome. That's awesome to see. So, Jonathan, all coaches usually have a certain style and usually have a certain tell or something you remember about them the most. Just for example, like we'll take Bobby Knight, aggressive, hot-headed. We all remember him for throwing the chair. Then you think about Phil Jackson, kind of like a Zen master of the game. If someone were to describe you as a coach, what would you say most people would notice about your coaching style?
Intensity, passion. I'm very intense when it comes to practice. And I think that, only a handful of guys kind of understand. But at the same time, I'm not so intense that, like I'm always yelling down somebody's throat. Like I'm intense at practice that, hey, I want things done and things done at a certain time and a certain way. But if they're not getting done, I'm not trying to humiliate you, right? I'll pull you off to the side. We'll have that conversation or whatever, and we'll fix it. And then my staff also, like they're not somebody who's going to come in and fly at said player or person on the court. So in games, my mind is going 90-0, and I a lot of times can run the stuff in my head, and I try and talk through and help the boys on the court. So I'm trying to stay up with the game. So I would think passionate or intensity. I'm not going to pull a Bobby Knight and throw the chair or anything, but I'm always trying to talk to referees and kind of figure out where the lines are. What I can do. So so it's fun.
That sounds really cool. So it sounds like you're kind of like that, like a dad mentality. You
Maybe.
care, and you might throw a little bit of like you said, intensity at it, but you're not gonna yell. And it's more of a teaching moment than it is a you did this wrong moment. I get it.
Right.
I like it. Cool. Very cool. So another basketball question I have for you. I know you're a big college basketball guy, but I have to ask you this question as well because I ask every basketball associated interview that I have this question. MJ or LeBron?
Oh man, I hate this debate.
Or you could even throw Kobe in there if you really wanted to.
I don't know, man.
That's who I would pick.
Each one did their own thing. Each one has a place in history. I remember growing up, and MJ was the big thing. Like, so for me, it's Michael over all of them. But again, I see how the younger generation, they're always going to see Kobe because maybe they didn't see Michael play. So they don't know. Now the younger kids, these middle school kids, they're seeing LeBron all the time, who definitely didn't see Jordan. So the era is changing. They're all really good at their craft, so it's hard to debate. And how do you debate when certain players aren't playing anymore? We always talk numbers, and numbers don't lie, but the game has changed so much. It's kind of hard to debate and talk about, in my opinion.
It's the ongoing debate. It never ends. It will never end.
Yeah.
So I do like the whole thing with LeBron and his son playing on the same team together. I think that's really cool. I thought it was really cool that they got to play in the game together for the first NBA moment like that. And I like LeBron as a player. I like MJ more too. I would probably put MJ, Kobe, and then LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
I like LeBron more as he got older.
Yeah.
He as he kind of matured as a player. He came out more. He wasn't just this, flashy dunker. He was he became more of a team player.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that's where I think it's cool that his son ties into the game now. And that's probably the reason that he changed like that, becoming playing in the NBA as a dad, and you kind of carry everything over into the game that you learn in real life. So LeBron now is I like him more than Kid LeBron. Kid LeBron was fun to watch. But
absolutely. He was flashy with all the dunks and high energy, and you know what I'm saying? But so LeBron having to shift his focus a little bit, and plus having kids, I mean, he kind of got into the coaching aspect of it. And when you're playing, you see all of this happening so fast, but when you go into teacher mode, your brain kind of flips a switch and you're like, all right, so what's the defense going to do if I do this? And so that's part of, I think, why he's so good is he understands the coaching aspect of it while he's playing. And I think that's why his sons are going to be so well.
Yeah, I agree. So we talked a little bit before we started the interview, and you're a big college basketball guy. Who's your college basketball team?
I'm a Duke fan, man. I grew up watching Coach K. I'm sorry if you're a North Carolina guy.
No, worse.
But no,
Maryland.
I grew up watching Coach K. I really liked how he handled everything. He ran the program back before they had NIL or the transfer portal. Like, you got guys in, and they went through your system, and you knew what you were getting year after year, man. It just, I don't know. It was something about that team, and I was hooked on it.
I was big into college basketball. I still enjoy college basketball, but I was really into it when I was younger. I forget what year it was. I want to say 99 maybe, where the Terps won the NCAA championship. I think it was 99. And Duke, they were still in the ACC then, and Duke was the main rival. Man, those Duke Maryland games with like Lonnie Baxter, JJ Redick, Shane Battier, all them, dude. Those are some of my most like fond sports memories of watching games on TV. And I remember coming home and, I'd make it a point to sit down and watch. I haven't really been into it like that since, but I still really enjoy college basketball more than NBA just because it's got that more, it feels like it's got more, not saying each league has more passion than or each association has more passion than the other, but you see it more on the college level than you do in the NBA. NBA is a little more reserved. The media is a little bigger. People kind of paint you in a different light, but that college, man, seeing those kids go out there and, playing to play, not playing for, these days, there might be some money involved, but they're mostly playing to play and try to get into the league. And the student sections add to it and those fans, man, college basketball is a different beast, and it's really fun to watch.
And I think that's why, I really liked it. Because the atmosphere at Duke, I've never been to a game, but the TV, you just hear the announcers being muffled by the crowd. And the college kids back then, before the NIL and all that, their goal was to play well to get to the NBA. Right. So you had a little bit more intensity and purpose than just, hey, I'm going to go out here and play and make this NIL money, and if I make it, I make it kind of thing. They're grinding every day to make it, to fulfill their dream, essentially, is to make it to the NBA.
Exactly.
And NIL kind of squashed that a little bit.
I think it's still there a little bit, but you're right. It's definitely changed, and things aren't going to stop changing. So you kind of just take it in stride.
Yep, you got to adapt.
Well, hey, Jonathan, it was a pleasure hanging out with you today. When do the Wildcat season start?
So officially, we start December 3rd. We host Oakdale for our home opener. And it's going to be exciting. I'm expecting a large crowd. They call us the Duke of Washington County, so hopefully we can get that student section in there and pack it out.
All right. Well, if you want to come check out opening night, come see the Wildcats play in Williamsport. Like Coach Wesson said, they're going up against Oakdale. Should be a good game. Thanks for hanging out again today, Jonathan. And we'll have you back on soon.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it.
If you'd like to be featured on the Coach's Corner with Andy, email coach at 921thegoat.com.